Hello everybody and welcome to 5-4 Season 2, Episode Uno. Uno is 1, anime review. So, I liked pretty much exactly half of this episode, and you'll never guess which half. The first half was hype as anything. Super hype. As someone who, I think it's fair to say, wasn't super fond of the first season, first half of the episode I was like, yes, this is going to be good. You know, it was a good reintroductory episode. It was good. Second half of the episode, I mean, it wasn't what I was expecting. I think that's a fair way to say it. It was actually all right, you know. I'm being a bit harsh. It was funny at points, but it was weird. Didn't see that coming, I think is fair to say. Didn't think that's what we'd be beginning the season with. But hey, whatever. You know, it's probably mostly a throwaway thing. But yeah, overall, I think I am glad to have it back. Hopefully, like for me, the first season sort of overstayed its welcome a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. Hopefully it stays interesting throughout. And based on like the trailers and the opening's fire, by the way, pun very much intended. It looks like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be better than the first season. Haven't read the manga or nothing. Think it's gonna be better. But anyway, let's get into the episode properly and see how everything went down and all that. Let's do this. We begin how we began every episode last season. Death by fire, right? Infernal combustion thingamadoogie. Don't get set on fire. It's not good. People are not a fan of that. It's basically what they were saying. And then we go to immediately just happy fun times. Shinra is out with all three girls. Lucky Shinra. You know, he doesn't even have to share. He's a lucky boy and everything. Although I feel a bit sorry for him because, I mean, they would flatten him, really, wouldn't they? Like if he got too handsy, he'd be dead. And luckily though, this is Shinra. Shinra's a good boy. He wouldn't do none of that. But yeah, they're getting ice cream and everything. Maki says she wouldn't look good in a dress. I think she'd look fine. Thumbs up and everything. And then we get to see how this happened. Basically, it's not a very interesting story. It's their day off, the girls were going shopping, and they invited Shinra. And also the Lieutenant Hinawa, he's got bad fashion sense, which leads us to now they're shopping. They're going to find clothes for Hinawa to wear. This can only go well, you know. While they're in the shop, there's a scene where Shinra blushes over Iris because she's pure and amazing. And then Tamaki acts all tsundere because she's jealous. That's the real reason. And yeah, so that's all going on. They're shopping, as I said. They're looking at weird hats and other things. A lot of stuff going there. But I've kind of skipped past this opening a little bit because it's not too important. It's just Shinra having time with the waifus. And then an explosion goes off. Kaboof. Exactly, that's what it sounds like. Oh no, and it's like pretty amazing how immediately they snap into action. It's like, happy fun times, bam. Alright, here's what we're doing. Here's how we're going to do this. Shinra, you go fight the thing by yourself. We're going to get everyone else. And that's what it does. Shinra takes off. He takes flight. He burns up his Nike trainers. And he heads straight to the giant Infernal. He's a big boy, I think it's fair to say. He's got like... I thought at first he had 4 arms. Don't think he did. Think he only had 2 arms. Which, in fact, he definitely only had 2 arms. It's central to how they defeat him. So, yeah, but no, he's just a big boy. Is point. Shinra gets sort of blindsided a little bit, gets knocked to the ground. He's about to be defeated and killed, and that would be a hell of a start to the season if that happened. But no, he is saved. He is saved by Arthur with his Excalibur. He cuts the fireball in half, and it was pretty damn cool, if I'm being completely honest. Arthur does a little sword spin as well, and when he puts his sword away, I was like, damn dude, you're doing that just to be cool, and it worked. I like Arthur. I think he's pretty cool. After that, everyone else comes up in the car. They bring the vroom vroom car. They show up and everything. Tell Shinra to get changed. There's this scene where they will walk out of the smoke in their uniforms. And it's like, Shinra's just like, damn, dude, I'm just wearing a t-shirt and some shorts. Like, can I join in? And they're like, Shinra, go get changed. And he goes to get changed in the back of the car. Meanwhile, everyone does a little bit of a fight thing. They all get their little moment to shine. Basically, this whole section reintroducing what everyone's powers are, basically, just in case you've forgotten. When did the first season fit? Was it only 6 months ago? I do think it was only 6 months ago the first season finished. So actually, it's not been that long at all. Feels like it's been a lot longer, I guess, because 2020 has been a hell of a year. But yeah, then they all basically the analysis gets complete after a while. Basically, it's got 5 cores, 1 in each arm, 1 in each leg, and then 1 in its chest. So basically, have at it, you guys, destroy the cores, and that they do. They all do cool things. The captain does he has like his arm pile driver thing, and then he's got a frisbee. It was really cool. Arthur, of course, used the sword. That was cool. Basically, everybody in this part did a cool thing. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Like I said, really good reintroductory section. To like, hey, remember everything? Remember all these guys? Remember what they can do? If you don't, here you go. And then Shinra does a big old... also, I missed out this part. Arthur and Shinra also deflect a fireball at one point. It was pretty cool. But no, then at the end, Shinra does a big old... what do you call it? Like a meteor kick. I wrote down what he said. Rapid man kick. But it was like a meteor. He like... and then he blew up his heart, basically. And we were like 14 minutes in at this point, and I was like, yes, this is a fun, solid episode. And then the opening started, and I was like, 14 minutes in? Can you even call it an opening at that point? It's like a back from the ad break at that point. It's not an opening anymore. It's just a mid-roll animation. Not relevant at all. It was a good opening. It was pretty hype. It was very hype. There's some like interesting things going on. Like there's a part with like fire pillars, but then like there's characters inside the fire pillars. I don't know if that's relevant. Like Sho was one, Shinra was one, that pink-haired scary girl who's in all the trailers was one. There was probably others, but like I'm thinking they might actually be things like relevant to the plot somehow. I can't remember if that was a thing that was said in the last season. It's been 6 months, alright. That's long enough for my brain to fry. But you know, it was generally just really hype. Love the song. Aima is a great Japanese singer. She did all the, not all of them, but like some of the best Fate openings, IMO. So that's where I know her from. I think she also did a song for Vinland Saga, one of the endings maybe. This is my J song bloody podcast where we talk about J songs. No. In short, the opening was pretty hype. I'm gonna watch it again later. I think the full version's out, and if it is, it's going in my ears, and we're gonna listen to that for a few. But anyway, let's get to the second half, which was a lot less action-packed. I think it's fair to say it was packed full of summon. It was definitely packed full of summon. Second half opens up innocently enough. Hina was dressed like a bunny, right? It's the clothes that the girls picked for him. The captain's having a go at him and was like, what are you wearing? Come on, man. What part of you thinks that's appropriate work uniform? What are you doing, man? And everything. Hinawa, though, he's a good guy. He's like, no, I bought this myself. And the captain's like, I see. But it turns out Captain is not an idiot. That'll do it. And he's like, all 4 of you come in. Don't know how he figured Shinra was in on it. Because, you know, the other 3, fair play. I guess he must have known that Shinra was out with them. So, yeah. He calls them in, has a go at them, is like, who is responsible for this? And Shinra has this great internal speech. He's like, just like the lieutenant, I too will not rat out my comrades. I will be a great teammate. Meanwhile, all the girls are like, it was Shinra. Shinra's to blame here. And then he says, girls are terrifying. And it's like, also he keeps mentioning his mum. Have I completely forgotten that plot point about his mum? Like, I thought his mum was dead. Like, or his mum was the Infernal? I've completely forgotten that plot. Oh no, did she escape? I might have to rewatch, like, the earlier, like, a couple episodes at the end of last season, because I completely forgot what happened to Shinra's mum. So, I think she was the Infernal, but she escaped, right? If I'm remembering right. And she's still out there somewhere. I really can't remember at this point, and I feel bad. I'm going to have to look it up later. 6 months, that's all it's been. 2020, it's been a hell of a year. But no, yeah. After that that part's pretty alright. You know, we got the Shinra basically taking the blame for everything. That part was alright. That part was quite funny. I thought that was alright. The next part, didn't see it coming. So basically Shinra gets asked into the manager's office, I guess, along with all the other dudes, to do the Fire Force nude calendar. Yeah, they said that. I was like, what? like Shinra's face sums it up. Like just a what? What kind of show is this now? Everyone shows off their muscles and stuff going on. Yeah, he looks through the previous year's things, sees all the people. Unfortunately, he ends up getting upset because it's only dudes. Hibana's not in it, and he was a bit gutted by that, which I do find it kind of weird because, like I've said about in like season 1, I was like Fire Force has really weirdly timed, really weirdly placed fan service. This is literally the best time to do it, and they did a lot of man service, but they didn't do any like lady fan service. And I don't care one way or the other, right? It's not if I want to see anime boob, there are websites for that. But it just seems weird because now that I bet later on we're gonna have a serious fight and there's gonna be some Tamaki fan service, just completely misplaced. Hopefully not, but it just seems really weird that they wouldn't do it when the opportunity is literally right there. Although maybe, I guess that would have turned a lot of people off immediately on season 2, so maybe it was a good idea. Although it's probably adapted from the manga, which didn't take that into account, so what does it really matter? Who cares? I'm watching it regardless. I actually quite enjoyed this episode, as I said. Yeah, then we go to Hibana, and she is having, let's call it an internal conflict, because she wants to see naked Shinra, don't we all? But on the other hand, she doesn't want everyone else to see Shinra, because then Shinra will get a lot of fangirls. It's basically her thinking. And she wants Shinra to herself, which, you know, don't think that's going to happen somehow. I don't see you being the main heroine. I don't know who I see being the main heroine. Is it Iris? Is it Tamaki? Who is the main heroine? Because I have no idea. And that's actually kind of exciting that it's not completely obvious. Like, I guess it could be Hibana. Who knows? She was the first one to like him, I guess. Who could say? Certainly not me. I have no idea. But yeah, then there's other stuff. Shinmon, the captain of the 7th, his photo was a hidden camera pic, and this year he's prepared. He's like, I'm not going to let you do that again, my good sir. The 8th had this cobra pose thing, which is weird for a nude. Gotta be honest, don't look at a lot of nude calendars of big muscular men. If you're into that, hey, more power to you, not for me. So I don't know what's normal or not, but I can tell you that doing it like the cobra, it's a little bit not normal for a nude. I mean, that kind of cobra is pretty weird. Different kind of cobra. Hey, that might be a little bit more, more their cup of tea. I have no idea what I'm saying. But yeah, they came last this year as well because they did twin cobras, and that caused them to come in last. Shinra was front and center because he's the main character, I guess. And that was the end of the episode. Like I said, it was certainly an episode of 2 halves. Also, the ending was pretty cool as well. It had sort of like it reminded me sort of like an Endless Runner video game, sort of like a Sonic Runners or something. Just the way, the animation and stuff. The song was fine too, but I'm more interested in the aesthetics, so to speak. Yeah, that was the end of the episode. It was split in half for me. I really enjoyed the first half, and the second half I was just confused. It wasn't even like disgust or anger or anything. It was just confusion. I was like, how do you go from that to that so quickly? It was a little odd, but whatever, you know. Like I'm not gonna get angry at it. I got quite mad at Fire Force in season 1, mostly because of the Tamaki fan service. But this time I think I'm just gonna take it light and fluffy. I'm gonna not get as angry, and I'm just gonna have a good old time because, like I've said before, what Fire Force does well, which is like its fights, its animation, its world building's alright as well, to be honest. It does it quite well. It's just, there's little things, and Tamaki, that sort of ruin the show. Although, she was kind of alright this week. Like, she didn't do anything too bad. Hope she puts a shirt on soon, though, because why wouldn't you wear a shirt? You're fighting fire. Surely the more, like, it's not even a case of fan service. It's a case of bloody logic at this point. Unless her power requires her to not wear any clothes. She's like Quiet from Metal Gear Phantom Pain. But I don't think that's how it works. I could be wrong on that. I'm not going to look it up. But yeah, that was this week's episode, the debut episode, and the first episode of anything in the new season. It's been pretty hype. Really looking forward to this coming season. Not just of Fire Force, just in general. There's a lot of stuff, which is just pretty exciting. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you, everybody, for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff. 4 more reviews, that would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care. and bye guys.